So there's a time and a place for everything, right? Maybe not everything, whatever. And there's even a time and a place to where you would do something to somebody without them asking for it. And this is one example of it, right? 7th grade, middle school, I was best friends with this girl that I had a crush on. And there was a point in time when she was bawling her eyes out. And I was sitting there being like, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? How can I, oh, what's wrong, right? Just sitting there while she's crying. And then one of our other friends comes up and then hugs her and like helps her, right? With that, they're hugging, you pat on the back, whatever, right? And I'm sitting there like, oh, I could have just hugged her. Me being a freaking nice guy in the back in the day, I was like, you know, I'm not going to hug her because she doesn't have her arms open and saying, hey, she'll hug me, you know? So I didn't do that. And that always kind of stuck with me. It's funny, too, because then recently, learning from that, I'm hanging out with some friends. We're at an art place. And this guy who comes in with his son, who's like selling drinks to support his son's dream, right? He wants to be like a race car driver. I end up asking him more about himself. And he starts crying when he gets more into depth about, you know, his passion and his reason for doing what he does and like the way he was raised and whatnot. And he was crying and I didn't expect that, right? But this time, what did I do? I got up and I hugged him. Because now I realize that it's not always about what they say. It's about like what they do and ways that you can reciprocate or help with what you do, as opposed to sitting there and just saying something, or maybe not sitting there, or sitting there and doing nothing. You know, and I'm glad that I was able to do that, because I could have sat there, he could have just cried, and I could have been like, oh, don't cry, or oh, it's okay. But there's a connection that's made when it's like you kind of take that leap. You know, because even then they're kind of taking a leap, crying, whatever in front of you. So you take that leap to connect and you're like, come here, you know, instead of being like, because I don't even know this guy, right? I could have literally, in the past story, at least I knew the person, but in this story, I didn't know the guy. So I could have been like, oh, I don't know the guy. But no, despite him being a stranger, went up to him, gave him a hug, because like, we just need more of that nowadays, you know? Even though we don't know each other, we don't necessarily owe each other things, there are things that you can do as a person to where, because it's unnecessary in a way, because it's unnecessary, that's what makes it have an impact. You don't have to ask somebody about their day, but when you do, you say, what's wrong? How'd it go? Did you eat today? People care and they like that because you're going out of your way. You could have just kept on walking past by them or said, how's your day? Good, goodbye, you know? But you actually showed care. And that's something that if we did more of, and we do more of course the world would be a better place. And yeah, we want rainbows and butterflies and pixie dust and whatever. But yeah, have a good day. Bye. Other videos, check out the links.